expose them. Somebody, because he wants to talk about prosperity at all costs, he has to degenerate a man that labored for Jesus and say that his anointing is nothing because he had no money. Now, if you stop there, I don't have a problem with you. You can say whatever you like. Then you now ask, where are his children? I am sure that they are angry with God. I am sure.
Pastor Fatoyinbo's controversial statement on Apostle Ayo Babalola sparked reactions. A look at his legacy, the church's defense, and public opinion. Pastor Fatoyinbo, the leader of the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, COZA, made headlines recently after he claimed during a sermon that Apostle Ayo Babalola, the founder of the Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, was anointed but died poor.
I dedicated 2 jets just at the airport. One of the jet that brought me is the first time it will fly. I dedicated it. So I know what I'm saying. I was studying recently about what Pastor Apostle Ayo Babalola did. But what God did through Smith Wigglesworth, if they had documented what God did in the life of that man, I'm telling you, people will be coming for pilgrimage. He was anointed. Oh, I described to our church members some of the things I heard. So anointed. Anointed man. Every duty grace. But no money. So all the grace just went like that. See all these kids, 4 of them. Then ORU. We didn't go there and say Shandala Baba. It's money.
In his remarks, Fatoyinbo questioned the spiritual success of a leader who did not possess material wealth, stating, "Where are his children?" His words immediately set off a firestorm of controversy within the Christian community. The controversial comments, which were made during a sermon in which Fatoyinbo compared the lives of influential pastors and their material wealth, questioned whether anointing or spiritual blessing should translate into financial success. The implication that Apostle Babalola's lack of wealth somehow tainted his spiritual influence angered many in the church. The Christ Apostolic Church, CAC, did not take Fatoyinbo's comments lightly. A spokesperson for the church responded, stating that the pastor's remarks were unfounded, misleading, and lacked scriptural backing.
And anytime people talk about the Christ Apostolic Church, I know it's not just about the church, but about the God of Christ Apostolic Church. What our God is able to do. How potent, how mighty, how great, how wonderful, how miraculous the God of our church is. And his testimony about our church is that the Christ Apostolic Church is not about what or how much you know. It's not about how highly educated you are, but about the demonstration of the power of God. And this is the testimony of those who have been through it. They have tasted it and they know that what we are talking about. We're talking about our God, the God of our church. We are not just making a slogan. It's the reality. And I know of some other church leaders in our country, Nigeria, that have spoken very glowingly about the Christ Apostolic Church. Someone whose name I'm not mentioning now, was very popular, a minister in our country, did say that the fire he uses today was acquired from the Christ Apostolic Church.
CAC emphasized that wealth should never be used as a measure of spiritual greatness, a message grounded in biblical teachings. They also called out Fatoyinbo's statement as harmful and untruthful, calling it an insult to the legacy of Apostle Babalola and his impact on millions of believers. The church pointed out that Apostle Babalola, despite his humble lifestyle, had lived a life rich in faith and service. He owned property and was even honored during Queen Elizabeth II's 1956 visit to Nigeria, dispelling any notion that his life was one of poverty. In a powerful response to the accusations, Eunice Wuraola Ogini, the eldest daughter of Apostle Ayo Babalola, recorded a video message addressing the remarks directly.
I am Eunice Wuraola Ogini, the first daughter of Apostle Joseph Ayo Babalola. I want to state clearly that we, his children, followed his footsteps. To the glory of God, both of us are highly blessed and we live a very comfortable life. This is because my father already sowed the seed of generosity, kindness, care and love of humanity. I remember vividly in my childhood days, our house used to be filled with people from different ages, different tribes, different languages, children, adults, youths, male, female. And out of the abundance of my father, he was able to help every one of them to have a good life. I am a deaconess in my church, a prayer warrior and a Sunday school teacher. My sister, Dame Deborah Akweke Adeniyi, in her church, is a prayer warrior and an evangelist. She was honored with the prestigious status in her church.
She rebuked Fatoyinbo for not respecting her father's legacy and highlighted the need for pastors to be truthful and grounded in facts before making claims about the lives of great men of God. Mummy Eunice stressed that her father's spiritual influence was not defined by financial success, but by the lives he touched and the spiritual movements he initiated across Nigeria. She passionately defended the legacy of Apostle Babalola, reminding the world that her father was not only honored by CAC. The woman clarified that she and her younger sister, Dame Deborah Agbeke Adeniyi, have continued to serve the church faithfully in their respective roles. Eunice serves as a deaconess and Sunday school teacher, while her sister Deborah is a prayer warrior and evangelist, honored with knighthood by her church for her service. Many pastors joining the conversation to defend Apostle Babalola's legacy. Reverend Kesiena, the pastor of RCN Warri, condemned Fatoyinbo'S remarks, stating that spirituality and wealth should not be equated.
Expose them. Somebody, because he wants to talk about prosperity at all costs. At all costs. He has to degenerate a man that labored for Jesus and say that his anointing is nothing because he had no money. Now, if you stop there, I don't have a problem with you. You can say whatever you like. Then you now ask, where are his children? I am sure that they are angry with God. I am sure. I am sure that they are angry with God because you want to teach. God prospers men, no doubt. I've taught you here, God blesses the works of your hands. But because I want to teach a false prosperity gospel, I have to rubbish a man's legacy. I mean, I don't care what men say. My pain is the people in the congregation clapping. They will carry that cancer and go and teach it to a generation. No, we will expose them. We will expose them. And it's not me that said it. He said, the unfruitful works of darkness. You know, you need to tell them, I will be around for a long time. Oh, I can't be killed. But as long as I'm around, I will expose them. If you like, say the way I said it, you don't like it. You are not the one who called me. If something is terrible, you have to cry a deep cry. If it's a small matter, you whisper. You can't see your child car wants to jam them on the road and you say, Sissy. Rubbish. You shout, see death, see death. You cry, you run into the road. That's the kind of prophet I am. When I put my ear to the breast of my king and I see that he's groaning, I can't be silent.
He pointed out that Babalola's spiritual heritage and the church he founded were far more valuable than any material wealth could ever be. Several other influential pastors added their voices, agreeing that wealth should not be used as a yardstick for measuring a Christian leader's success. They reminded the public that Jesus Christ himself lived a humble life, and that spiritual leaders should not focus on accumulating wealth, but on spreading the gospel and serving their communities. The controversy quickly gained traction on social media, with Nigerians and global Christian communities weighing in on the issue. Supporters of Fatoyinbo argued that financial success was sometimes a sign of God's favor, while others pointed out that true spiritual wealth lies in faith, service, and sacrifice, not materialism. On the other hand, supporters of Apostle Babalola's legacy took to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to express their disagreement with Fatoyinbo'S views. Many reposted videos of Apostle Babalola's prayers, sermons, and spiritual teachings, reaffirming that his legacy is about impacting lives, not acquiring riches. This controversy isn't just about two pastors' opinions, but touches on a larger debate in Christianity. Should wealth and success be considered a reflection of a pastor's anointing and spirituality? Or is it possible to be both spiritually gifted and materially humble? This clash of opinions between spiritual humility and material prosperity reflects the complex relationship that many people have with religion in the modern world. It also raises important questions about how we define success in the church. Is it by the number of followers, by the size of the church building, or by the lives transformed by the gospel? Above all, Pastor Fatoyinbo has issued a press statement to apologize for his earlier comments.
Recently, my attention was brought to someone said something about me in Nigeria. Someone misquoted what I said and, took my message from one place and to the other and said I was talking about the veteran of faith. If you look at what I'm talking about right now, I normally don't respond to things, but because they're talking about the veteran of faith, I went somewhere to preach. And I was talking to young ministers, and I told them to focus on their focus. Particularly, they need finance to actually fructify their vision. That is why I have to, talk about it. So I was talking to young men how that they need to focus, and they would do more if they make more money, if they had more money to express their ministry.
In his statement, he expressed regret for any hurt or offense his words may have caused. He acknowledged that his remarks were inappropriate and misinterpreted by some, and he took full responsibility for them. The pastor reassured his followers that it was never his intention to cause any harm and promised to be more careful with his words in the future. He requested forgiveness from those affected by his statements, his commitment to promoting peace and understanding. The controversy surrounding Pastor Fatoyinbo's statement about Apostle Ayo Babalola has ignited a broader conversation within the Christian community, especially concerning the relationship between spirituality and material success. As more voices continue to join the debate, let me know your opinion about this video. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.